Hello everyone. Right now you're probably wondering, who is this person talking? He's not Jesse, he's not Daniel, he's not even Kayla. Well, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Joey Ferris. I run a YouTube channel called Ferris Wheel Pro. Basically, Jesse messaged me last night asking if I could make a little video talking about Metroid Prime 4 and the recent development update that has come out about it. Not really a development update, it's more like just a job listing and whatnot. But he asked me this because I am a huge Metroid fan, and I know a little bit about game development. I'm not gonna claim that I'm a genius and I know the ins and outs and everything, but I seem to know a bit more about game development than most people on Twitter, especially when these job listings come up, and they've come up quite a few times over the past year on Retro Studios' Twitter account, basically ever since the game was scrapped and given to Retro back in, was it January 2019? We think it's January, but it could have been a little bit sooner. They just decided to tell us in January. But basically, every time one of these job listings comes up, and right now there was a job listing posted a few days ago that they're looking for a lead producer to join them on their journey to develop Metroid Prime 4. And this caused a bunch of people to go crazy saying, oh no, we're not getting this game until like 2030 if they're just now looking for a lead producer. And if we go on Retro Studios' Twitter page right now, we look at those reactions on every single one. They posted a job for an art director back in June. They're looking for more people back in April 2019. And by the way, that was June 2019. They posted the art director. And you look at the responses, and it's just nothing but, oh man, they're just now starting. We're not getting this game for a long time. Now, obviously, time is subjective. People think 2022 is a long time. I don't think that's a long time at all. I'm expecting this game to come out at around that time. But every time these links are posted, someone's always got to be doom and gloom about Metroid Prime 4. Like, oh no, we're not going to see this game for a decade. Guys, you don't know how game development works if you're saying stuff like that. Like, what you have to understand is that game studios always hire. Always. No matter how far they are in development, they're always going to be hiring staff for whatever reason. Like, let's go on their career page right now. They got a bunch of jobs. Lead graphics engineer, senior level designer, lead animator, boss AI designer, engineering department producer, level 4 lighting artist. What is it, level 2, 3, what is that, like, really low? I don't know. Contract, outsourcing, review artist, concept artist. There's a lot. There are a lot of jobs. That doesn't mean they don't already have people working in those departments. That just means they need more people. Part of this is speculation. Like, the only people that know what's going on in Retro Studios are the people at Retro Studios and the people at Nintendo America, Nintendo Japan, all that stuff. But every time there's a job posting, there's no need for alarm. There really isn't. Like, for example, let's take a look at one of their newest hires, Kyle Heffley. Kyle Heffley is currently a lead character artist at Retro Studios, and he was hired back in, I want to say, maybe this year, January, or late last year. I don't quite remember, but he was recently working at 343 Industries on Halo 5 and maybe even Halo Infinite, I'm not quite sure. But just because he's a lead character artist, and I say a lead, not the lead, that doesn't mean that they just now hired a character artist. They most likely have a bunch of different character artists, and I went to go research this. I looked at Halo 5 Guardian's end credits just to see where he was in the credits, and so we go to where he is in the end credits. He is in character, vehicle, and weapon art. And look at all those people that are leads. There's so many people. It's like, why even call it a lead if everyone's gonna be a lead? Like, really. Like I said, I don't know I'm not like a genius when it comes to game development. I've never worked on a game in my life. But the fact of the matter is, not one person works on one thing. It's not like one guy designed every single character, vehicle, and weapon. Like, it's a group of people, which also goes back to the lead producer position. So chances are, there's more than one lead producer. Way more than one. Maybe 4 at the least. Just because they're looking for a lead producer doesn't mean they don't have any lead producer right now. If anything, maybe a lead producer is getting fired or let go or is quitting, and they're looking for someone to replace them. But even then, that doesn't mean that the lead producer is in charge of the entire game. Perhaps they're in charge of a certain part of the game, like a multiplayer mode, or cinematics, or stuff like that. Also, speaking of that stuff, when I'm looking at the Halo 5 credits, I'm looking at the parts that say director. There's a lot of dang directors for each department. Like, look at how many directors there are for cinematics in Halo 5. That's a lot of people. So, which also makes me question the art director position that was posted way back in whatever the heck, I don't even remember anymore. But maybe that is one position where only one person would be in charge, because looking at Halo 5, there's only one art director there. So maybe they're getting rid of someone else. Maybe they got rid of someone else. Maybe that art director left and they're looking for a new one. Either way, it wouldn't surprise me if there is more than one art director, perhaps. But the bottom line is, in spite of all the job listings that are currently available, this is not any indication on where Metroid Prime 4 is at in development. But I know for sure that doesn't mean the project is in trouble. Maybe it is in trouble. Maybe there's like behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about. But if there was proof that there was something wrong with development, it's not in the job listings at all. Game developers hire all the time. As a matter of fact, they hire a lot more people close to the end of development, because that's when they're ramping up production. That's when they're crunching, which is not a practice I support, because crunching is just an abusive practice that shouldn't even happen. But regardless of if there's crunch or not, they're still going to hire a lot of people to get stuff done faster, and then they'll probably get let go at the end. Like, that's what happens in game development. I'm not saying Metroid Prime 4 is close to the end of development. I would love for it to be. But just because they're hiring people doesn't mean that development is slowing down. It could mean that it's ramping up, because let's be honest, Retro got dealt a really crappy hand by getting this game a year and a half after it was announced. Because I think a lot of us at that point expected the game to come out really, really soon. Like maybe even that year in 2019, maybe even this year in 2020. But then they announced that the game got reset from scratch, maybe not purely from scratch, but mostly from scratch, and we would have to wait longer for it. And Nintendo knows they can't mess this game up, but they also know that they made a mistake announcing this game way too early. So the pressure is on with Retro. The fact that people are reporting on new hires, like every time someone gets hired there, just goes to show how much people like me are anticipating this game. I have never seen any other game that has been followed this closely in development like Metroid Prime 4. Like, the fact that I even know who a lead character artist is at Retro is just saying a lot, because it's not like these employees are celebrities or anything. They're employees working on a game. They're game developers. Like, they make some of the best things ever, because game development is such a hard industry, and people in that industry need to be treated better. But people are excited for this game. And I get people sharing their worries, like every time a job posting listed, oh no, they're just now looking for this person, they're just now looking for this person. That means the game's not coming out until I die. No. That doesn't mean the game is a long, long ways away. It just means they're hiring someone. Because, and I keep saying it, they're gonna keep hiring until this game is like almost done. It's just a thing that's gonna happen. There is no cause for worry. There is no cause for concern. There is literally nothing to worry about. You know who should be worried about in this game right now is Retro Studios and Nintendo. We just need to sit back, relax, and wait for this game to come out. And the lead producer position could be anything. It could be them working on frickin' Blast Ball from Federation Force, bringing it into this game. Who knows? It could be awesome. I mean, Blast Ball was probably the best mode from Federation Force. I thought it was really cool, but yeah, bring Blast Ball to Metroid Prime 4. That'd be fun. Anyway, I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4. What do you guys think? Will we see Metroid Prime 4 in 2022? Will we see it next year? Will we see it later than that? Let me know in the comment section down below. But if you want to check out my channel, Ferris Wheel Pro, be sure to click the link in the description or the card at the top right, assuming Jesse or whoever put it there. And if you're a fan of Metroid, I have an extensive trilogy on the Metroid Prime trilogy. You should definitely check out those videos, and I'll be coming out with more Metroid content over the years. So if you like Metroid, come visit my channel. You'll be welcome. I love you. But also, subscribe to Game Over Jesse. Hit like on this video if you like this video. And of course, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you later.